much of yourself can you bring into your coaching? The process can feel awkward or unauthentic when you're attempting to stay professional.
Mm-hmm. This came up yesterday for me. What I'm doing is I'm working with a couple of practice clients and to put down some demos. So it's been on my list for a long time. We're doing it. And I was working with a client yesterday. The topic came up. It was around inclusion and diversity. And I felt like, and this was our very first conversation where we even designed the alliance, figuring out, do we want to work together or not? And I felt like it was important for me to explain a little bit about my background, my view on it, where I'm coming from. I felt like that was important. And then I also told him in future sessions, I am not going to refer to myself. I'm done. I'm done talking about me. I'm done even thinking about me. But it was important for me. I felt like it was important for me to know in that Design the Alliance session, share a little bit of my story, my perspective on it, and then design the alliance that I won't go into it again. And I won't. I've listened to too much coaching, too many coaching minutes. Whenever a coach refers to themselves, I've heard it done maybe only 2 or 3 times where I felt like it had an extreme positive impact. It's really hard to make that impact positive and to make it sustainable. I understand the desire for human connection. If you as a coach feel like you need to go there, the most useful way to do that is at the end of the conversation, after the coaching is done, and say, okay, now I'm putting on my person hat. I just want to let you know in that session, these are some of the things that came up from my own experience I'd like to share with you, but that's a completely separate thing that is not in the coaching session, after the coaching session. In the coaching session, we're listeners. We're listeners. And to me, the most affirming thing is to ask a generous question. Curiosity shows care. It's the most caring thing, is to keep curious. That's my thoughts. Right? I'm kind of curious. And I understand this is my thing. This is the way I look at it. Other coaches might look at it differently, and I could be open to other ways of doing it too. But I've listened to a lot of coaching, and I feel strongly on this, but if other people feel differently, I can also respect that.
Yeah, and as you're talking, I'm thinking about this. I do exploration of myself if I feel the need to do that, because I'm like, what is it about this that I do need to share me or an example? Is there something that's missing for me? This is just my perspective. I need to share my story. Is there something that I have not healed from, or is there some validation I'm looking for? What are the reasons for me bringing myself? Is it really useful, or is it something I need for me? And I've pulled out of the curiosity for the client in that moment. So I have to hold that mirror up. And like you, I do hold that space in the Design the Alliance, because we'll spend a good 30 minutes of the first hour, just look at the intake form, check in. We're like creating that contractual agreement, setting goals. I'm going to walk through what a coaching session is going to look like. But I also give opportunity. And I feel that in the exec world, they need it. They like it. What questions do you have for me? And as you say, I'm very clear, like, this is the only time I'm going to be conversational here, because coaching is not going to look like this. But in the Design the Alliance, there is an opportunity, and they do want to know about my background and experience and things that I have been involved in or not. And maybe if that is just a sense of comfort or building that rapport and relationship, I find that clients do find it helpful. But I have to make sure that there is a clear boundary. For me, I'll say, right, okay, now we're going to shift into coaching. So they know that there is a shift. We have moved from the Design the Alliance and our conversation, and now we're actually moving into a coaching session. Like, I have switched my role there as well.
Right. Yeah, I think if it's something where I feel like when I'm listening to my client, they're wondering what I'm thinking, or it just feels like it's in the space. I might address it, maybe, but I probably wouldn't. I just let that awkwardness sit there and use it, and not try to make it go away, but wonder, where does that awkwardness come from? What's the usefulness of this awkwardness? How is this awkwardness not useful? What's the energy behind it? Where's it coming from? Where's it coming from me as a coach? Where's it coming from them as a client? There's a lot of curiosity. Curiosity is so powerful. It really is.